Tonight, several developing headlines as we come on the air. The extreme heat, severe storms, and the major dam here in the U.S. at imminent risk for failure. Also, the deadly shark attack. The victim acted in Pirates of the Caribbean. And in New York's Central Park, the NYPD tonight on the attempted sexual assault in broad daylight. First tonight, the states of emergency, catastrophic flooding in the Midwest, a major dam at risk of failing. Residents warned to be ready to evacuate. Deadly rip currents up and down the East Coast. In New York City tonight, 2 teenage boys swept out by a large wave. 80 million Americans under heat alerts from California all the way east. Ginger Z is here. The deadly shark attack off Hawaii. A well-known surfer killed, suffering multiple shark bites. The victim, also an actor who appeared in several TV shows and in Pirates of the Caribbean. Here in New York City tonight, the urgent search for a suspect wanted for attempted sex assault in broad daylight in Central Park. A 21-year-old woman attacked while sunbathing. The victim fighting him off. Tonight, the chilling new video showing the moment 3 hostages were taken by Hamas, including American-Israeli Hirsch Goldberg Poland, still being held. In the video, one of the terrorists saying he wanted a selfie with their hostage. His arm had been blown off. Tonight, the interview here, his parents on why they want the world to see the images and what Benjamin Netanyahu signaled about the war in Gaza right now. The race for the White House tonight, just 3 days now until the earliest ever presidential debate. Tonight, what we now know about the preparations, how President Biden is getting ready, and what Donald Trump is now saying about the president's ability to debate. The remarkable kidney transplant here in the U.S.
Are you awake, John?
The patient in Chicago awake during the kidney procedure. The missing hiker who went for a 3-hour hike now rescued after 10 days alone. The emotional reunion. Also tonight here, the American woman, a tourist missing in the Bahamas for several days now. And 4 small earthquakes reported in California, all within just 2 hours. One in Los Angeles.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to start another week with all of you at home. We begin tonight with the extreme heat, severe storms, dangerous flooding, a dam here in the U.S. at imminent risk of failure. Tonight, more than 80 million Americans from California to the Midwest to the East still sweltering in dangerous heat. There are states of emergency with rivers still rising, and in the East, dangerous rip currents. In New York City, authorities believe 2 teenage boys were swept out to sea. Tonight, those heat alerts from California to Minnesota to Florida, triple-digit temperatures and the heat index when you factor in humidity well above 100 for millions. A disaster emergency in western Iowa. Look at this. Hundreds of homes underwater tonight. Up to 18 inches of rain in recent storms. In North Sioux City, South Dakota, a railway bridge ripped in two by record-high waters there. And near Mankato, Minnesota tonight, a dam over the Blue Earth River breached. At imminent risk of failing, families nearby have been urged to evacuate. Ginger Z has the forecast, and ABC's Erielle Reshef leading us off with the images tonight.
Tonight, record-breaking floods threatening to burst a dam. Days of rain crippling communities in the upper Midwest. The Rapidan Dam near Mankato, Minnesota, in the southern part of the state, at risk of imminent failure. Authorities warning residents along the Blue Earth River to be ready to evacuate. The danger coming after days of storms dumped up to 18 inches of rain in some spots, sending rivers over their banks, engulfing whole neighborhoods and destroying crucial infrastructure. Our Melissa Adan outside Sioux City, Iowa.
This railway bridge ripped apart by that raging river. You see the gushing water. Officials say it crested at 45 feet. That's historic levels, forcing many that live nearby to evacuate.
Iowa's governor says nearly 2,000 homes and businesses sustained damage, hundreds destroyed. South Dakota's governor telling reporters today that floodwaters killed at least 1 person in the state.
In case we needed any reminder of the destructive nature of water, we are seeing it in real time today.
The extreme heat fueling extreme storms in the east. In the last 24 hours, multiple tornado warnings in New England. Meanwhile, families seeking relief from the heat at our nation's beaches are getting caught in dangerous rip currents. Dozens of people rescued from North Carolina beaches in recent days. And in New York City, authorities suspended the search for 2 teenage boys swept out by a large wave at Jacob Riis Park. Witnesses say they went under around 6 p.m. Friday, just moments after lifeguards had left the beach for the day.
David, you can see it's extremely windy here. I can barely face the camera. You can also see there's red flag warnings behind me. Lifeguards at a nearby beach say they rescued 12 swimmers from rip currents just on Sunday alone, and they say they're bracing for more in the coming days. David?
Erielle Reshef reporting in from Brighton Beach. Erielle, thank you. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z back with us tonight with the forecast. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. It was the first 100-plus degree temperature in June in 12 years for Washington, D.C. and Baltimore over the weekend. And now that heat is focused tomorrow, mostly in the middle of the country, from Omaha and the excessive heat warnings to Greenville, Mississippi, that could see feels like upwards of 116, a couple pockets of excessive heat for Salt Lake and Palm Springs. But the risk area is really focused again along that Florida panhandle back to Little Rock. And a big part of that's not just the afternoon highs or the feels likes when the sun is out, but when you are asleep and how warm it stays. We could see some record overnight low highs, if that makes any sense to you. Also, yes, riding along that ridge and with some frontal action, a low pressure system tonight, you could see a derecho or at least a long line of storms with embedded or isolated tornadoes, mostly a 70-plus mile-per-hour wind possible southeastern Minnesota, much of southwestern Wisconsin, all the way down to Milwaukee and Chicago by early morning. And finally, these are the next 2 days for severe weather. David?
Ginger Z with us again tonight. Ginger, thank you. We turn now to the deadly shark attack off Hawaii. A well-known surfer who acted in TV shows and the Pirates of the Caribbean attacked and killed off Oahu. Here's ABC's Matt Rivers.
Tonight, in a rare, fatal shark attack, world-renowned surfer Tamayo Perry killed off the island of Oahu Sunday afternoon.
It is just a tragic loss. And Tamayo is a legendary waterman and highly respected, grew up right over here.
The 49-year-old was out surfing in the waters off Molaikahana State Park when he was attacked. Lifeguards recovering Perry's body by jet ski, authorities saying he appeared to have suffered from multiple shark bites. Perry, a decades-long surfer and a veteran of the area ocean safety and lifeguard services. He also acted, making appearances in Hawaii Five-0,
Get to work,
Pirates of the Caribbean, and Blue Crush.
What's up, Tamayo?
Hey, how's it, girls?
How's it out there?
Oh, it's pretty nuts.
His friend Brian Beelman saying he ran into the surfer just the night before his death.
All I can say is he was a great Christian man. He's with his mom in heaven right now. There's no doubt about that. He was an incredible surfer. Everybody loved Tamayo.
Also on Sunday in North Carolina, police say a 14-year-old was bitten on the leg by a shark at North Topsail Beach.
14-year-old male that was bit by a shark.
Bystanders pulling the teen from the water. He was later transported to the hospital and is expected to recover. Despite natural fears, though, experts still say the chance of getting bitten extremely low.
What's your message to people who are going to the beach this summer?
So based on what we're learning, not just in California or Hawaii or Massachusetts or Florida, is that your probability of being bitten is so low, it really isn't something to worry about.
David, that expert reiterating that fatal shark attacks are extremely rare. Tamayo Perry's death in Hawaii, just the 9th fatal incident recorded in that state since it began keeping records nearly 30 years ago. David?
Matt Rivers with us tonight. Thank you, Matt.